What is going on, everyone? Badger here. Should have like and sub, and let's get into this. The big controversy with The Witcher 4, well, really the big controversy with any studio is one, the studios of today are not the studios of yesterday. The majority of them, all the superstars have left, certainly half in the case of CD Projekt Red, which means that all of the sequels to all the video games that we loved are not made by the original people, and in fact, far from it. And certainly, even those where it is the original people, they've changed as people politically and other ways. And so you just see different products. And so I know we're all excited for The Witcher 4. I mean, maybe Siri lore bugaboos aside. But now we have one of my favorites, Thomas Mauler, CEO from Moon Studios. Last time we heard about him, I believe it was the Obsidian Entertainment, Matt Hansen, Kerfluffle. But people like Thomas Mauler, who also, as we've covered previously, he talks about DEI, how it'll ruin games. But if you want to have diverse people in your games and gay, LGBT, but all that, that's fine, but it has to suit the game. It has to be there for a reason. And of course, he's from famous things as No Rest for the Wicked, Ori and the Blind Forest, Ori and the Will of the Wisps. And just saying, be careful when it comes to Elder Scrolls 6 and The Witcher 4, because just like CD Projekt Red, Bethesda does not have a lot of the same people it used to. Although of all of them, I'd say Bethesda is more because it has Todd Howard there. It's the closest to it's been to the Fallout 3 version of Bethesda and the Skyrim rather and Oblivion versions, just because it has Todd Howard there setting the tone. But a lot of those other places, including CD Projekt Red, we've seen they definitely do not set the tone the way they used to. So he says, this looks really good. This particular one is to the Dawn Walker game, which is great because that comes from one of the directors for The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. I did a reaction to it if you want. Really looking forward to it, but I believe his point is going to be like, yeah, just take note that the director for Witcher 3 is making this, which means he's not going to be there for Witcher 4. So he says, it's been some time since I've seen an interesting take like that from a AAA studio, intriguing angle, but ultimately I hope a lot of effort is being put into combat mechanics. Witcher 3 was brilliant in terms of story, but I couldn't play that game anymore simply due to its core gameplay. And he could be wrong too, because the gameplay with The Witcher is great, but maybe it was just too simplistic for him. But you see here people responding saying, I disliked the gameplay as well. Story was phenomenal, and that's what everyone will be expecting from Witcher 4. So I hope they will deliver. As for hashtag Dawn Walker, really excited for the game. I hope the next trailer receives more attention. Yeah, the trailer was great, and I'm assuming his comment about the Witcher gameplay is he's hoping they've expanded upon that for Dawn Walker, which it's like a bunch of vampire power. So I would assume instead of a solid sword system, you're going to have a casting and vampire spell thing. So he points out Witcher 3 came out 10 years ago, and Witcher 4 isn't made by the same people that made Witcher 3. Despite what the CEO of CD Projekt Red would try to have you believe, they have lost a significant amount of people. And while they may have one quest designer that's worked on the other games, one person does not equate the amount of all the others who have left. So that is an important note there. People expect Bethesda to make the next Skyrim, but game development is all about the people behind the scenes. The team who made Skyrim what it is doesn't exist anymore. And even though I said it's probably closer to others because of Todd Howard, all you got to do is look at Starfield to see the disconnect, right? Even with him, that wasn't enough. There wasn't enough of the leftover people from Skyrim to bring about that same vein and attention. Brand means nothing. Talented teams are everything. Facts. Yep. You can comment what time I coughed right there. Sildor's Horse says, say the same with Rockstar. Yes, say the same with Rockstar, but they seem to be the only studio taking their time. We'll wait. We'll wait and see on that one. Bethesda needs a new engine. If Rockstar made RDR3 with the same engine, it wouldn't be ideal, but I don't think no one would complain if they made Red Dead Redemption. But the point is, even that, people at Rockstar are not the same. Thomas saying, oh, for sure. And it was the same with Blizzard and Diablo. 10 years is a long time. And sadly, people sometimes disband. Even the Beatles broke up at some point. And what we have going on in gaming is that someone took that dead Beatles corpse and keeps making music without John, Paul, George, and Ringo. But it was never about the Beatles brand. It was always about magic happening when these four folks came together to make music. Yeah, and we've seen it as a continued failed product. They're wearing a skin suit. And yes, as noted here, Dragon Age the Veilguard, and I'll add my own Star Wars Outlaws. Really, the only one that snuck into me was that Indiana Jones game, which really did seem like they made just an Indiana Jones game for Indiana Jones fans. But because of who they chose to market it, no one really played it. It's getting a little bit of traction from word of mouth, but nowhere near where it needs to have profitability. But all the other big ones that people just took on faith, they're failing. And you can look at Dragon Age, the Veilguard, you can Star Wars Outlaws. God help us. Going into the future, we'll see. Because as we pointed out, all of these studios ain't what they used to be. So yeah, shout out to Thomas Mauler, voice of reason. Let me know what you think about all this. So you worried about the next Elder Scrolls? Are you worried about the next Witcher? I am, for different reasons, but let me know what you think. By the way, make sure to like, share, and sub. If you have done that, thank you. If you're going to do that, thank you.
Well, bye.